Welcome to Scentonomics, guys. Today we're going to be going over Carven L Eau Intense by Carven, obviously. So Carven L Eau Intense is a woody aromatic fragrance for men, and it's fairly new. It came out in 2016, and Carven L Eau Intense was created by Jerome de Marino and Francis Kurkdjian, and it's available in 3 sizes. So the first size, basically you can get it in 30, 50, or 100 ml as in EDT, and that's the only concentration it comes in. So basically that's a brief intro for Carven L Eau Intense by Carven, and with that, let's move on to the presentation. So for the presentation, guys, this fragrance comes in an elegant white flacon with a metal cap. Let me just open up the box for you. So it comes in a little, this cardboard box right here. You open it up. The bottle sits inside there. As you can see, there is a little bit of protection in there, but it's not like too much. So anyway, it comes in this, white flacon with the silver metal cap right here. And the flacon designer of the first black bottle, Carven pour Homme, is Thierry de Bashkamov. So I guess Carven kept the same design for all the other flankers, and so this is a flanker of that one. And the cap fits pretty well, but again, I don't suggest anybody ever holding the bottle just by the cap. So again, I'm just scared of it falling, right? The atomizer, if I can get this off, the atomizer has decent dispersion, as you can see. And, right, like that's the back, it's pretty clear. So basically that's the presentation of Carven L Eau Intense by Carven, and with that, let's move on to the scent. So for the scent, for Carven L Eau Intense, at the top we have Italian lemon, mint, and grapefruit. And for the mid, we have birch leaf, lavender, ginger, and cardamom. And for the base notes, we got cedar and amber. So it starts off with a very nice minty, sharp citrus freshness. The mint, lemon, and grapefruit definitely make a very good first impression, and I totally love it. But it might be a little too much for some people who are not so fond of citrus notes. So after that, the spices make an appearance, and with the cardamom being just, light enough to tell you that, hey, it's there, but it's not overpowering that it dominates the other notes. It's mixed very well with the ginger to give the scent a little zest, and with the lavender, it adds a floral flavor to the overall general sense of the fragrance. So then the scent finishes off very smooth with the nice cedarwood and amber. So overall, I would say that it's a wonderful, fresh, woodsy fragrance, and it's a really nice, at least for me, I love how it smells. So that's my take on the scent, and with that, let's move on to the rating. So for the rating for Carven L Eau Intense, for the uniqueness and distinction, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Despite how much I like this fragrance and how it smells, I would have to say that it resembles many other fresh woodsy fragrances, and a lot of them from like the MFK line, like Apom or Amorous. So again, for uniqueness and distinction, 7 out of 10. For performance and longevity, I give it an 8 out of 10. Being a fresh scent, I thought it wouldn't even get to 6 hours, but thankfully, this thing lasts on my skin for about 6 to 8 hours consecutive, more or less on a regular basis that I've worn this and used this. For projection and sillage, again, I give it an 8 out of 10. It projects well for about 2 hours, and then thereafter that, people can still smell it if they are, an arm's length away from you. So pretty good on the projection, 8 out of 10. For versatility, I give it a 9. I feel that this scent can work in most cases. Firstly, I feel like it's a unisex fragrance despite it being advertised for men. Secondly, I'm sure it can do well in all 4 seasons if the weather where you live is moderate and not severe. So in Northern California, our summers are not too hot and our winters are not too cold. So for a place like this, like the Bay Area, it would work well for sure during the daytime of all 4 seasons and indoors in climate-controlled environments, and it would do well during the summer nights, but also during the late spring and early fall nights. Thirdly, This could be worn dressed up or dressed down in casual or formal clothing. If a person is wearing a suit or something super fancy, then perhaps other more pronounced fragrances would be more suitable. But again, this is the only reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 and I gave it a 9. Just because maybe if you're wearing like a 3-piece suit or something like that, something else might actually work a little better. Anyway, moving on. So for compliments and feedback, I give it an 8 out of 10. There has only been positive feedback for, at least from my wearing of this fragrance. However, I can see some people not liking the initial strong blast of the mint and the lemon that comes off right at the very beginning. But all things considered, other people will most likely not smell it on you at the exact moment that you spray it, because normally you spray it and then you get into, you go to wherever you're going. You don't start off like spraying the fragrance right in front of people. So I think that can basically be ignored. So that's something that, you kind of want to keep in mind if you're a little, you're not really liking the initial blast. So, one way to solve this issue is for yourself is to, if you find the opening too strong, is to spray heavy on your neck, meaning the back, and instead of your neck, around your neck or the back or wherever near your nose, spray it on your wrists or your elbows or somewhere away from you. So that way, away from your nose. So that way, that strong initial feedback won't come in, hit you hard. So anyway, that's my take on the compliments. I give it an 8 out of 10. For presentation, it's the same as the other bottle, and for that one, I gave it a 7. So again, this is the score I gave Carven Pour Homme, which I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. So since the bottle design is basically the same, it didn't make sense for me to give it a different score. I actually like the black bottle, and I like the white one too. The green bottle, I don't know, that color of green really wasn't too striking for me. But these two bottles I really like, but overall I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. For the Scentonomic factor, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 also. The price of this fragrance is not what it should be. In other words, it's too damn high if you buy it retail, which is a really dumb move. Don't do what I did like I did for Carven Pour Homme. This one, luckily, I did not get retail. So anyway, however, it is also not easily available on the discount websites. So if you're able to buy it for around 50 to 60 bucks for the 100 ml this size bottle, then I would say that, it's worth it, especially since this is high quality fragrance. I mean, it's done by a good perfumer, Francis Kurkdjian, that lasts for over 6 hours. I say it's worth it, but I would not go out of my way to get this. However, if you do come across this scent for a decent price, then I would say don't miss out on it. So for the Scentonomic factor, 7 out of 10. My overall score for Carven L'Eau Intense by Carven, and the nose behind it being Francis Kurkdjian, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a great smelling fragrance with above average performance, right? And Francis Kurkdjian being the nose behind it, he holds a lot of credibility, and it could easily pass as a niche fragrance, with all things said and done. It's a very versatile fragrance and can be worn in pretty much by anybody at any time, anywhere. My only issue with this fragrance is the retail price tag and the availability. Beyond that, I'm happy that I have this in my collection. So anyway, that was my take on Carven L'Eau Intense by Carven. And if you felt that this review was helpful in any way, then please, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And also subscribe if you haven't already done so for more fragrance-related content. Also, please comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Carven L'Eau Intense or any Carven fragrances for that matter. These are the only 2 fragrances I have from this house, meaning Carven Pour Homme and the L'Eau Intense. So which of the 3 fragrances, in this line do you think is the best one? Please, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for their support. This is Nabeel signing off from Scentonomics, where every scent counts.